What's up, everybody? This is 10K on the Bay. Welcome to our Monday Night Mastermind call. Today, we're going to talk about shipping. Thanks, everybody, for coming by. Holly's holding down the fort for the women in the group. A lot of people traveling this week, so we do have the six of us. Today, we're going to go over shipping ideas. We're going to go over challenges, things that we like, and then how our weeks went. And I guess we'll get started with Mike. Mike, how was your week? And then do you want to talk to us about maybe a shipping challenge or a shipping tip?
Yeah, our week was good. We had, I think for the week, we had about 25,000 in sales. I think we had 200, just a little over 200 in packages that were shipped. And one of the challenges that we have been having is making sure that we are maximizing the efficiency and the savings in our shipping. One of the things that I found out through dealing with our particular account rep, and since we're a nonprofit, we are able to fall into the category through UPS as well as FedEx of the government agencies. And so we probably get some of the best rates that you're going to find in the country. So if any of you, if you are able to or do operate under a nonprofit category, most people, when they hear nonprofit, they think, oh, it's a charity, it's this, and everybody gives of their time, nobody makes any money. And I keep telling people, nonprofit is a tax status, it's not a business model. And so don't get it twisted. And what the key item to remember when shipping, and I don't know USPS as much, because what I found is if it's a pound or under, which most of our items are not, then it really does work to go the USPS route. But if it's a pound or more, then it helps to go either FedEx or USPS, depending on what you've negotiated with your rates. And so we're able to use what they call the dim weight, and that's the lingo that they'll use, or the dimensional weight. It's length times width times height divided by a certain factor. And so really, it doesn't matter how much the item weighs, it matters how much volume it takes up. And so we've been working really hard on using a system similar to what they call Sealed Air, which is a two-part foam packaging system where you spray the foam in. A lot of our items are one-offs, and so using very standardized packaging is difficult for us. But when we're able to customize, we have, instead of having hundreds of rolls of bubble wrap, we just have small barrels of this particular component that grows 1 to 40 size. And so when we use that, we're able to pick the right size of box. We increase the types of boxes that we use instead of just the quantity of boxes. And so now we're able to choose the item that fits in it and gives us a maximum of 3 inches all the way around the item for computers. And we're able to reduce our shipping cost in just not just labor, but the material about as much as we can. Granted, we're still learning just like everybody else. And so we're always open to great ideas that people have. But that's one of the successes that we found, because the difficult part that we have isn't just getting the right amount of items or the right size of item to the right size of box. So that would be mine for today.
I have a question on that. Is it ever useful to use a flat rate box? Does that exist for FedEx or UPS?
It does not exist for FedEx or UPS that I'm aware of. Again, I'm still learning these. But for example, we can send a computer that might be 7 inches high, 10 inches by 12 inches for probably $8 to New York from Las Vegas. And so we get some incredibly, and that's about an 8-pound item. So again, it's also to our advantage. Computers come in different sizes of the case. And we found that the more valuable computers to us are the smaller ones that have the same size of power, because it costs us anywhere from 30% to 50% less to ship.
That makes sense. So do you ever pick items to sell do you sell the items that are smaller first? How do you go about tackling your pile? Does the shipping a factor when you're choosing?
It doesn't necessarily factor into that. as we get our items, we obviously look at what turns over first. So we understand our inventory to know that a vintage Mac is going to turn slower than what we call a Dell Optiplex small form factor, or a very small computer. Those small computers really do sell through a lot quicker, anywhere from 6 hours to 12 hours that they'll ship and sell through. So rather than even trying to get it from what it used to be of 6 months, we're trying to squeeze it down to 3 months and even 1 month, that we hold on to an item before it sells through, or we're going to sell it because we want to churn our inventory faster. But as far as shipping, no, we don't really pick which item we're going to choose first to pull from the shelf. It just depends on what order the orders come through and ship station, which is what we just kind of go in a methodical order.
Sounds cool. I was doing some research on a company called OSM, which is like commercial first class shipping for the post office, and rates of like $3.60 for a pound instead of $4.30 with the eBay discount. So that's like 70 cents cheaper, which is significant if you're selling a lot of really small items in volume. That can add up quickly. But those rates didn't apply to USPS flat rate. That's pretty much as cheap as it gets when you go with the post office. But then talking about dim weight, which is what you're referring to, it's definitely cheaper, especially for shoes, which is a lot of people sell shoes. So if they were to ship by dim weight instead of USPS priority, you're talking a significant savings. And there are no large shoe sellers that use the post office at all. So obviously
really?
that's
Okay.
Nike doesn't use the post office. So it always
True.
comes in a brown box from FedEx or UPS. So it's like, it makes sense that dimensional wise, that's why I can kind of, I guess I will give my tip, which is I will bubble wrap a pair of shoes and put it in a flat rate envelope, and it won't get damaged because it fits into that flat rate for $6.05 for the legal flat rate, instead of $8 or $9 to ship it in a normal box. So that's my hack for the day for you guys. I think that I haven't had any issues. It is a very ugly presentation, so sometimes I will put a note like, sorry, it's ugly, but your shoes should arrive safely. If not, please contact me. And haven't had any issues. It's not
Right.
beautiful though. I also
Oh,
have, for the majority of my shoes, the box. So I put in there, for $5 more, you can have the box, but no one ever selects that.
the option to have it sounds like a great thing. I know that when you give people options, you give people the ability to upgrade if they want to, and upsell if they choose to. And I think giving them a few options really does enhance the ability to click and make the purchase.
Sounds good. Holly, how's it going? How do you have a shipping tip or challenge for us?
The thing is that most of the
We
things
lose
that,
you?
for
Oh
me,
wait, we
most
can't
of
hear
the
you.
things I sell are fashion. Am
Let's
I
see.
muted? Wait,
I can hear her. She's just a little bit soft.
can you hear me now?
So on the
Oh, really?
we
Okay,
can't hear
sorry.
you yet. On the bottom left next to the microphone, there's like an arrow. Hopefully they can select a different mic.
I was actually on my
Can't hear
headphones.
you yet.
Is this any better? You cannot?
I'm gonna go to Kevin real quick, and then we'll come back to you. Kevin, do
Okay.
you have a shipping tip or challenge that you have that you can share with us?
I wouldn't say I have a
Well, I can't hear
challenge.
you either. Can you guys hear him?
Okay.
I can hear her.
Oh, you can. Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
All right. Sorry about that. Yeah, I wouldn't say that I have a challenge. I did not know about the dim weight, so that's new. I've never heard of that before. I've always used USPS priority. I modify my boxes, which is by USPS, so I get my shipping supplies for free. I use my eBay tape, which I get, the quarterly coupons for. And then also I've hit up other local sellers, and they've given me their tape if they don't need it. So I'm pretty stacked up as far as supplies are concerned. And at cost, I think I ran my numbers recently, and it was about $8 or $8.50 on average for shipping with my discount. So it wasn't terrible, but I do ship everything with the box. A lot of what I sell is like collectors want to keep the complete packaging for. So that sometimes is a necessity for someone. But again, I agree with what Chris was saying about having options for people, because if you give those people the options, it just gives them more of a choice, and it's up to them whether or not they want to use it or not.
Are you using the USPS 1095 box?
I do, yeah.
Okay, so just guys, if you want to modify the shoebox so it fits nicely without doing too much work, I'm sure you can reach out to Kevin. I think he has. Do you have a video or a resource on how to do it?
Yep. So I have the link in my bio on my IG. So
Okay.
I use 3 different boxes, which primarily use everything that I ship for. The only time I use any other boxes are if it's a multiple order. So if there's 2 or 3 of something going into a shoe, then I have boxes for size for that. But generally speaking, I use the USPS shoe box, which is what'll fit anything women's size 6.5 or smaller. And then it'll fit any shoe that doesn't have a box, and they're free. They're real easy to get. I use the 1095 as a primary box, which will fit anything up to a men's 11 or 11 and a half. I try to take anything 11 and a half or over, and I use that in the 1096, which is a bit bigger. And because of the way I make my boxes, it's a little bit different than what you've seen other people do. It's all the same concept, but because you're cutting to the size of I cut to the size of the box I'm shipping, not to an object or anything like that I use to trace it. It actually makes the box that's going inside it more secure because it's cut to the specifications of that box. It's real easy. You just use the box as the tracer. I am actually uploading a video to show people how I personally modify my boxes.
Sounds cool. Holly, I think it was my speaker that wasn't working. Do you want to go now? How was your week? And then do you have a shipping tip or a challenge for us?
Yeah, let's try again. Can you hear this?
It's a little soft, but I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to try to yell at it a little bit. My week was good. I've been feeling a lot of stress from trying to balance, what we do and the regular job, but I just got a very good impression of how much time I'd be able to devote to both. So I'm feeling much better about it. I don't have many shipping, like I ship differently than the last 2 people we've heard talk. So I think my only challenge is that I ship a lot of different size things and weight. So one size box doesn't fit it all for me. So my biggest challenge is keeping a stock of boxes that are different shapes and sizes that I end up like just anytime I see boxes places, I take them. So I feel like a little bit of a trash elf for boxes. So that is more of where I am because of the products that I ship. And yeah, that's my only thing. Were we doing a challenge too, or just the shipping today?
You can have a challenge, or we're just having sort of an open forum on shipping. I was going to ask you, when do you weigh your items? Do you do it before or during your listing or after the fact?
I have always wanted to get organized enough to where I weighed them before I before I list them, so it's in the listing. But the fact of the matter is, I can hand weigh most things, and so I know about what it's going to cost, about how much it weighs, therefore about what it's going to be. Most of my things go to California, so if I know something is about a pound, it's going to have to be in a flat rate anyway. So I just put that on the listing. I weigh everything before I'm going to ship it out, but I'm very accurate, so it doesn't bother me to do it that way.
Can you tell the difference between 8 ounces and 13 ounces?
No.
No,
So
I'm just
yeah, if I
kidding.
was
But yeah,
doing
no,
in the
it's
thousands
just
of things in
there's a
that area.
big price difference between those 2 numbers, or at least it's $1. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right, cool. Prince, why don't you talk to us a little bit about your shipping process and how was your week?
Hi, what's up, guys? For everyone watching, this is Prince, by the way. I look a little bit different than how I usually look. So remember my homework was adding more inventory. I think I had like 95 or 100 last week. I wanted to get up to 150. It's at 143 right now. So I think I got there. As far as shipping goes, I do everything is first class for me. Well, half is first class, half is priority padded flat rate. I don't use the regular flat rate just because, like you said, it looks ugly. but also it just adds a little bit of extra protection in there because I don't bubble wrap my accessories, the little ones, so that helps with it. But I guess one challenge is um, I don't even have a shipping challenge, but yeah, that's how I do it.
Sounds good. Ben, do you have any, how was your week? And then do you have any, actually, before we get into that, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about you, and you're new to the call. Give us an idea of where you live and what kind of things you like to sell.
Thank you. How you doing? Name's Ben, and I live in the Connecticut area up here in New England. I pretty much sell everything right now in my store. I mean, to me, I look at if I could sell it, I'll sell it. I do mainly clothes, do a few auto parts, do a few electronics, whatever. Like I said, whatever I could find that sells, I'll sell it. The week was good, very busy weekend with Christmas coming up, fourth quarter. So I did a lot of packing. I work full time during the day. So what I try to do is when I do my shipping is I usually try to get everything packed up at least by midnight the night before, because I do next day shipping. So, I mean, that's a big challenge, because if I don't get a chance to do that, then I got to get up extra early in the morning to get everything shipped out. And for most of my stuff, I try to either use padded flats or first class. It's just try to keep the shipping minute as possible. But like, I did have a good challenge to myself a couple weeks ago. I had an intake manifold that I looked up for comps on eBay, and there wasn't any up there. It was for an Audi for 10-cylinder. So I'm like, this thing's not going to do anything. And even, check for a box or nothing. I just had an open box, it's just open. So I listed it, and an hour later it sold. And I'm like, now I'm scrambling. It took me from like 9:00 at night till almost midnight to get this thing packed up and shipped. I ended up taking a box, cutting it down, folding it down, but I made my shipping deadline. So the thing I learned from that is anything that I get oddball size now, I try to find a box that's going to fit it. So next time I'm prepared. I mean, that's the best advice I can give you, is be prepared. If you have something that's odd size that you're not sure if you're about shipping, you're just going to list it, make sure you got something that's going to fit in first before you list it, because you can really get behind the 8 ball there, and that's not a good thing.
That's a great tip. I have something a little. I have a couple shipping challenges that I thought of while you guys were talking. One is my post office guy does not like me, so like he tries to pretend like he doesn't see the packages sometimes, or just not have to come up. So I haven't been able to figure out how to get him to be a little bit more friendly. I've given him a decent sized gift card, but he just doesn't really want to do it because nobody else in the neighborhood requires pickup every day. So yeah, and he has a small truck, so it's like kind of annoying for him to carry the boxes in. So I'm just trying to figure out the right way to finesse so that he can not hate me, because I feel like he begrudgingly scans the packages when he gets it, or the scan form.
Chris, you got to use that. You got to use the tips in that book you were telling me about.
I know. I need to.
You got to finesse them. You know what I'm saying?
I got to finesse it.
Like, real quick on that note, years ago we were doing demo work in a house, and we weren't shipping anything, but we're trying to put a lot of stuff out in the trash. So what we would do is like once a week I would leave a 30-pack out there bare for the trash guys. They would take everything. So it might work if you grease the wheel a little bit, Just
That's true. Okay, I will.
That
Does work.
What would you guys give a gift as to your post office people? I was thinking about it because Christmas is coming up and everything.
I had $50 gift certificate to Starbucks, which is
that's
a decent amount. I feel like
Starbucks.
Yeah.
What, $20?
I did $50.
You did $50? Isn't that illegal? I think 20 is the max.
I don't know, but he wasn't any friendlier.
That's hilarious.
So it was a waste of money. I should have given him.
He's probably like
30-pack would have been better.
Like is allergic to coffee or something like that. He's
I don't know.
He's like, I hate this guy.
Well, Las Vegas is legal with marijuana now. Not that I've done that, but that's maybe an option depending on what's legal and what's not legal. Who knows?
If that doesn't make him happy, I think I'd be in trouble.
Then you just had the wrong postman, but that's not much you can do.
I'll have to get an ounce for him next time. Yeah, so shipping is, It's definitely worth it. Another tip that I would give is when you're first shipping something, you can look at all the different options. You can select. I think in the box there's select additional options and look at all the different packages. I actually recommend that you order one of every box from the free USPS Postal Service website just to get an idea of what the different boxes are like, because it is kind of complicated in the beginning, and there are definitely a lot of people overpay for shipping things that are under 1 pound. If you send a priority in a box, you might pay. Some people accidentally pay $10 too much on a specific item, so it's worth your investment to look at every single type of container in the beginning so you can get a handle. And also, I wanted to point out that I'm going to hopefully be interviewing Jack Shang with E4 City next year, and he has 4 million feedback. That's into individual people. He will only buy it if it ships first class. He doesn't have any items that are not first class. So I think that's incredible to be sourcing at that level. Anything profitable and small, he buys to resell in the store, and that's And I don't know his philosophy, but it's to get 4 million unique feedback is mind blowing on how you could get a company that large.
Does he have a system of consistently requesting that people provide feedback as well?
Possibly, but that's a lot of unique people. That's like 1% of all the people
Yeah,
have bought something from him.
That's vigilance, that's for sure.
Yep. Shipping wise, also, I like the conversation that I brought up where he ships in the evening. I have been doing that for the most part between 9 and 10 p.m. I'll ship as many as I can, and then if I have more that come out through the night, I will ship those before my guy comes at right around 4:50. I have convinced him to come at the very end of the route. I think the part that he didn't like was putting the packages in, and then it got in his way for the rest of his route. So I convinced him to come at the end. So he didn't smile or anything, but that's just what his situation is.
I have a question on shipping. If anyone has experience in this particular avenue, when it comes to shipping and using eBay as an upgraded service, I know there are other things that can be bundled together or things that can be offered. Is there a way, and I've not delved into this, so I'm asking before I've even attempted to do research, so I apologize. Is there something within the eBay platform that says you have the option, here's how we ship it, if you would like it shipped faster? I get tons of people who say, can I pay extra to have it shipped? Which I'm on my phone till midnight answering those kinds of things. If it's a warranty issue, I'll wait till the next day to address it. But if it's something where I have the additional capability of making money, I will offer that. But I would love it if there's an automatic way where you can say, if you'd like extra fast shipping on two or three different degrees, then it just costs X amount of dollars extra, and a customer can click on it. Anybody aware?
Yeah, they have it. You can add it. You should bulk edit all of your listings and add it right away.
Yeah,
Okay,
can add
thank you.
multiples. I mean, more than one option. So
As many.
yeah, as many as you want.
Yeah, I think Chris
info.
was sharing something. You had, what's it, eBay My Biz or something like that, where you can even set rules and restrictions for different types of listings to have it set for different ways.
I think you should always offer the overnight shipping, even if it's an exorbitant cost, because some people will pay it if they need it for some reason. I have $20 expedited for first class and $30 for USPS Express. I've had people buy both. Even when I've had one time it exceeded the cost of the item. So some people need it right away. And then they have that guaranteed 3-day option box that's right under the search. So I imagine people are clicking that to see what could arrive in 3 days. And if they really need it, if you're not opted into the guaranteed delivery program, you're not going to show up in those results. Also, one more idea on that before I forget is just international wise, you can selectively choose the global shipping program. I don't know if you guys know that, but I use the global shipping program for countries like Russia or Chile where I've had issues before, but those are the only 2 countries that I use it for right now. So you can selectively go into your site preferences and adjust your shipping. You will ship direct to Canada or the UK, but maybe not Europe. So you can go in there and choose. I think that I offer both the global shipping program and ship direct, and I get customers from both. So I guess it's just like we were talking about earlier, offer as many options as possible. And I've also heard of people doing free economy shipping, because I think there's an option to put economy and not be specific, and then they have an additional expedited one for $2.99 or something, which is not the cost of it, but it supplements it a little bit, and people will sometimes upgrade to that frequently. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
Oh, that's cool.
Prince had like a hack for location, because people in certain areas will search different things.
Yeah, like there's a lot of California specific items. It's always warmer there, so people search for different things around there. And I keep telling everyone, like, the world is moving towards convenience everywhere. Even with buying consumer products, it's like everyone wants it fast. I went to order something right now, and it was like 3 day shipping. I'm like, never mind, I'll just go pick it up or something. But like,
True.
with Uber, cryptocurrency, everything, the whole world is moving towards convenience over pricing and stuff like that. So I really believe that. And even on eBay. So Mike, you definitely need to add that shipping option of the express.
Yes, I know what I'm going to be doing as soon as this video ends.
And here they have Prime Now, which is like an hour delivery. So I know Amazon's like trying to get into the auto parts industry, saying like, hey, you could go to O'Reilly or Pep Boys down the street, or we can deliver it in an hour. It's like, oh, that's scary. So there were some rules or something that the auto parts companies and these distributors had that are expiring. So I think that Amazon may just step in and try to be the biggest auto part dealer also.
Yeah, I've used the Prime Now here in Las Vegas just to buy something silly that I really didn't even need, because I wanted to test it out. And sure enough, this Mercedes SL pulls up and out jumps the Amazon driver. I'm like, wow, okay.
Yeah, I think food too, and groceries with Amazon buying Whole Foods. I feel like that's going to be very dramatic for, I think one of the super underdeveloped areas is healthy food. There's definitely convenient food that's not healthy. But eventually, if healthy food is more convenient or as convenient as unhealthy food, I think there might be a pretty big shift there. Shipping wise, there's also opportunities to ship, stuff that's frozen. My brother just ordered some tuna that came frozen. It's kind of crazy how the different vessels are going to be. I wonder if it really will become drones. They just gave away some Steph Curry 4s here, shoes. They delivered them by drone. So you win it, and you go outside and a drone drops it to you, or however they're going to do the contest. It's amazingly interesting. I don't know if stuff's going to actually be that way.
I think they dropped the shoes, and then like it was filmed, and whoever found them first was the person
gotcha.
that got them.
But I wonder if they're going to deliver that way.
Oh, I'm sure that's going to be a thing.
But I'd be outside with my pellet gun trying to shoot one down to get free shoes. Just kidding. But yeah, that's interesting. I think you're right, Prince. Everything is moving towards convenience. I wonder if there will be a 2-day option. Is there a way for eBay to compete with Prime?
Well, when you're selecting guaranteed delivery, there's options for 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day. It's not just guaranteed delivery. So.
Oh, that's right. On the left side.
Yeah.
Chris.
Yep.
Earlier this year, Amazon registered patents for drone hives, like giant hives where drones will be released all over. You can look it up. The sketches are pretty incredible.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, it is scary. Also, with autonomous cars being a thing here in the Bay Area, there are 150 cars that have been driving around for multiple years. Each has over 1 million miles. Autonomous driving is pretty much figured out. I guess right now, if I heard from when I was driving Uber, one of the executives was saying they haven't figured out how to make the cars secure, meaning like someone could hack and take over the car, and they don't know how to prevent that. And they also don't know what to do if the Wi-Fi runs out in the car. So like the cars driving themselves perfectly already exists. They already have that. They just need to figure out how to make them not hackable so you can't kidnap people when they get into an autonomous car, because that would be scary. But here, I don't know if it's like this where you guys live, but 100% of people are texting and driving. I feel like it's extremely scary to drive at all.
Yeah, it is. That's
So,
true.
and the people who aren't texting are like Uber drivers who are using their app. So it's pretty scary out here.
Yeah.
No, it's the same here in Connecticut too. It's crazy. I mean, I live 20 minutes away from work on a regular day, but with traffic, it can take me 45 minutes when because most people are just not paying attention. I used to be an avid motorcycle rider. I won't even ride on the street anymore. It's just it's not worth it. People just don't pay attention, and I mean that's why autonomous cars. That's unfortunately that's going to be the way of the future because the only way they're going to prevent people from getting hurt, I think, is by taking that equation out of people's hands eventually. It's going to be a while, but I think it's going to be eventually probably 20 years and you'll see it, if not sooner.
For sure. One more question I want to ask you guys is your picking process when an item sells. Do you go all at the same time, pick all the items onto a cart, and then take them back into your area, or do you do it by batch? I know with Amazon and large facilities, they have the systems that bring the bin to the person and take the item out of it, and then the bin goes back and stores itself wherever it's stored. Just wondering how you guys pick your products. Is it in your garage? Like, how do you go and get it?
Well, I know I can let you know how we do it and how we're going to be increasingly do it. We kind of do it on an order basis. So our shipping supervisor goes through the orders as they've come in and does exactly what you've mentioned. He has a cart where he will go and put all the items on a cart. And then we have kind of a layout. We have a very detailed schedule where here are the items that are being shipped. And then next to that is the boxing area where they will put the items in the appropriately sized box, and then they get stacked and they have a little tag on it that identifies the item inside the box. Then the shipping label will be attached to the appropriate box. So yeah, we do them in batch form.
Yeah, I'll just go. So all of my inventory is stored in a small house outside of my house. And yeah, I don't ship every day. I'd love to opt into the can't believe. I think we have one person who ships daily. That's amazing. I can't commit to it. My metrics would suffer. So I do it every few days. And yes, I get everything pulled from the bins and they're marked and organized, and then just take them in. And I believe we're calling it batch shipping. Everything then gets weighed and entered, printed, and packed. Prince?
I have a question, guys, before I answer. Do you guys know of a way that you could batch when you go to ship in bulk? Let's say there's like 40 items you have to ship. Is there any way you could batch it to like what item it is? So let's say if it's like, sort of prints in a row.
Yeah. You mean so like all of your cameras and then certain type of accessories go in a row?
Yeah.
I wonder if when you get it in the batch, you can just, or even before you click it, like, how you can click at the top of most of the spreadsheets on eBay and it'll sort by that column.
I don't know if it does that. Does it?
Or by category, possibly. I've never tried it, so I'm not familiar.
Yeah, that
Just
would
about
increase
every
my speed a
spreadsheet
lot.
will sort. Yeah, try that.
Because then what you're saying, Prince, is then you would be able to go to a specific area and pick all of those items at the same time versus crisscross.
Exactly. If I knew there were like 15 of them sold this time, it's gonna be the first 15 shipping labels. I don't have to keep looking back and forth on the computer and then labels and everything. Chris,
Yeah, I think about that all the time too. How to maximize how much time it takes to actually look at what's sold and pair it up with box so that you can put the label on it or whatever. That is a hack. If you could figure that out, that would definitely save at least 5, 10, 15, 30 minutes per day. I ship every day, so yeah, I would save a ton of time.
Same here.
I have 3 rows, A, B, and C. So I'll look down the order sheet and pick all the A's at the same time, then pick all the B's at the same time, then pick all the C's at the same time. But if I could just order them A through C, that'd be easier. Can I sort by custom SKU? Because I think I can.
Definitely can.
That would be good for you. Yeah.
When you print the labels, you can sort by the custom SKU.
I hope so. I'm not
I
doing that
sort
right
the
now.
I'm gonna
I
check
sort the
right
custom SKU in the orders when I'm in like all orders and I'm gonna select them all to go into bulk shipping. I sort
Oh,
now.
that.
Before.
I see. Okay.
I know that's sortable.
So then hold on real quick before we move off of that. So when you sort those custom SKUs, you then just select the ones that are like and print the label for those and do not print all of them at once.
I don't, but that is possible.
That's a good idea, Kevin. I'm gonna start doing that, I think.
You could select just only cameras and print those ones.
Yeah, because
Right.
like
That's
right now,
how you
like,
would.
it takes up so much time for me because they're all in like they print a one large sheet, and ripping them off even takes up time if I want to sit down and kind of batch them by myself. But
Right.
that takes a long time too. But if I could just print all the cameras in once and all the whatever, that's a good idea.
And I guess for me, I could just sort and print all the A labels, all the B labels, and all the C labels, and match it when I'm out there. Does everybody use the custom SKU? You guys don't?
We do. We will be, what we're going to do, our particular new location that we're moving into next week, 12 feet high and 45 feet by 30 feet. And there are 36 racks, 4 shelves per rack. Each shelf will have a specific item, specific number to it that will coincide with the SKU. So our item will be custom SKU'd, and then next to the custom SKU, as an additional portion of the custom SKU, is an item location. And so when our shipping department guy puts something on a shelf, he actually will scan the barcode that is on the shelf that will add that to the custom SKU. So anybody in the shop, we try to set up a hit by a truck philosophy. If I get hit by a truck, anyone can step in and fill my shoes. So that if you look at an item, not only do you know what the item is, you know exactly what shelf it is within our storage area so that you could easily go and pick it. And then like was mentioned, you could print those so that your picker is walking the least amount of steps. That's a great idea. I think we'll probably work towards that.
Yeah, I use the custom SKUs as well. I got just a pretty simple bin system, just with ladders set up. And what I do if I have a lot to ship, just to make it simple for me, instead of keep printing labels, is I'll just take a screenshot with my phone of the screen, and then from there I'll just look at my phone and just go over to the bins and just grab it all there and bring it back, and then print my labels, weigh it, and ship it that way as well. Instead of having to try to print and go back and forth, to just take a picture of it, and when I got it, just go over there and grab it.
I think that's a great system, because when I originally started this, I put the location in the title because it was easy for me to find it when I printed it. But now I realize that it's just as easy to use your phone to look up the actual, use the desktop on your browser to just look it up, and then that way I'm not wasting the keyword. And they're not going to add custom SKU to mobile anytime soon, so you can't just scroll in your orders. I mean, eventually I think they will do that since so many people want it, but in the meantime, just take it out of the just look at the actual desktop app on your phone to make it easier. I like that. Or take a screenshot of it.
That's a good one, Chris, because I've never used my phone because the eBay app never lets you, like, you have to click on it twice into the listing to see who bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the desktop is a good idea.
But do you use the mobile, or do you use the desktop app on your phone?
The desktop app?
I'm sorry, the desktop site.
Oh, no, I don't. That's what I'm saying. That was a good idea.
Yeah, no, I'm really digging it right now. Save paper too.
Yeah, true.
Yep. Do you guys have any plans for the holiday?
I'm going to California, possibly your house. Like
Amazing. That is amazing. Yeah, so we're going to take a couple of weeks off, guys. Thanks for stopping by. We're going to restart this in January. So hopefully everyone has a fantastic holiday. If you guys have any questions, reach out to us all on Instagram. I'll put everyone's Instagram, or Ben, I don't know your contact information. If you want people to reach out, I'll throw it in the description below. And then people can reach out if they want to meet up. And Holly, thank you for holding it down for the ladies tonight. And everyone have a great holiday.